Hi, I'm Kevin Anzenberger, and this is the Sports Interview. The inclement weather has not only kept us off the set of EHCTV, students out of the classroom, but it has also kept the softball players off of the softball field here at Emory and Henry College. A season that was supposed to start in mid-February has been delayed, and delayed some more. Now, E&H will enter a string of games in Florida a bit colder than they're used to. Normally, the team has a head start on their competition, which is mainly northern. This year, however, we have not had that luxury. Today, seated beside me, I have senior pitcher Katie Grimm. Katie, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And I want to talk about this delay. How has the team reacted, and what does the team keep telling themselves every day as these games keep getting pushed back and postponed?
Well, obviously, we're always bummed when we don't get to play, but the team, we're really trying to keep our energy up. That's key to have good, solid practices. And so we keep reminding ourselves eventually we will get back on the field, we will get to play. And so we're just prepping for that competition.
And you mentioned practices. They haven't been on the softball field either.
No.
You guys have been practicing in the gym. What are sort of the limitations and challenges of practicing in the basketball gym?
Well, it's not nearly this close to the same size as a softball field. So it's kind of limits what we can do. We have been still trying to do a lot of live at-bats, live things, because that's what's going to keep us sharp. But the rafters and stuff, we kind of feel like we're in a pinball machine. Someone hits a pop-up, normally wouldn't be a problem, but in the gym it kind of creates havoc. And I know our outfielders, they're not getting the range and the depth that they would if we were outside. But we've been creative on our practice schedules. So.
Yeah, you mentioned being creative. What's the most creative thing Coach Forrester has had on your guys' plate for a practice schedule?
We had a competition day. He broke us into 2 teams, and we did some just fun competitions and different little games to kind of keep our energy up and to mix it up since we've been inside for a really long time.
Yeah, and it's good to mix things up. Now, this weekend we leave for Florida. What does that trip entail? What's the schedule? What's the itinerary for that trip down to Florida?
We're leaving bright and early, 6 a.m. on Saturday, traveling down most of the day Saturday, and then Sunday we're having a little fun. Before we play, we're going to see the Yankees play in their spring training. They're playing the Nationals. And then we head straight into games. We play 2 games for 3 days, and then we're going to have a little more fun, go to Busch Gardens, and hopefully we'll win, so that'll be fun too. So.
Yeah, that sounds like a great trip. If you guys have any extra room, I wouldn't mind going.
We'll just throw you under the bus.
Exactly. And now, I know it's hard to tell how the team's doing so far, but we've had some fall ball games and some practices. Who really has stood out this year in your mind, as somebody who's doing a little bit more or maybe playing a little bit better than they have in previous years?
I think overall the team has really stepped up their level of competition. Everyone's really bringing their A game. We have a solid freshman class. And, it's hard to pinpoint on a team that has such depth as ours. We have 21 players, and every single one of them, depending on the day, is just standing out. And I think there's, we've got Taylor Doss, she drops bombs, and we have Riley Pudney, who's come back hard from his shoulder surgery, and a lot of really key freshmen as well. So.
Yeah, you mentioned the freshmen, and actually this is Coach Forster's first recruiting class ever, and that's big. How would you define this recruiting class, and who's really stood out in that recruiting class? Who is the recruiting class of 2016?
All of our freshmen are awesome, but the person who always comes to my mind is Kaylee Hodge. She's a boss. She can rip them. She's great at third. She has probably the strongest arm I've ever seen in my life. It's a little scary, and she always has a positive attitude at practice, but overall, all of our freshmen, they're great. They bring a lot of dynamic to the team. So.
And you're a senior this year. What has your journey been like? How did you get here? How have these 4 years gone for you?
My story to Emory was maybe a little different than others. I had no idea where I wanted to go to undergrad, and I was really struggling. I was panicking at the end of my senior year. I was like, where am I going to go? I have no idea. And one of my older cousins, she came to Emory, and so my mom said, why don't we just go down and look? So we went on our own, didn't email the coach or anything, and I just stepped on campus, and I knew this is where I wanted to be, this is where I had to go. So then I contacted the coach, said, hey, I know I want to come here. I play softball. Is there a place for me on your team? And that's kind of how it unrolled. We've had a little bump in the road with our softball program. We've had a couple of change of hands, but Coach Forster is really bringing the program to a new level, and it's really exciting to see.
Yeah, and from my understanding, Coach Forster wasn't your only coach in this journey?
No, I was recruited by another coach, and then I played for Coach Schoenhoff. She did not recruit me, and I played for her for 2 years, and then Coach Forster joined us last year.
So you've been here for 4 years, you've been recruited by a different coach, played for 2 different coaches. This team, how is this team, this coach, this year unique to all your other years?
I feel like we're in a really good place. Coach Forster is here for the right reasons. He is told us he's going to be here for the long term, which is comforting to hear that we're not someone's stepping stone to maybe a bigger program or to another level. So I think that builds a lot of confidence in your team when you have a lot of confidence in your coach. And just the talent on this team that we have this year. Not that we haven't been talented in the past, but we have way more depth. We have a larger team than we've had in years past, and that allows us to be able to mix it up, try new things, and figure out what's going to work for us out there.
Now, I want to end with something lighter, on a lighter note. You have any key songs on your pregame pump-up list? You know, what's on Katie Grimm's iPod before the softball game?
Hot in Here by Nelly, because Nelly's my main man, and I can rap Nelly like it's my job.
So a little throwback there.
A little throwback to
Is
him.
that going to be your walkout song as you walk out to pitch?
You know, probably, because who doesn't love Nelly?
All right, and hopefully it does get a little hotter in here and the snow melts so you guys can play.
Hopefully.
But that's all we have time for, and thanks for being on the set here
Thanks for
today.
having me.
I'm Kevin Ansberger. She's Katie Grimm. I will now send it over to the sports update.